need to prepare for. No electricity. What do? How do you cook?
Buy a paper map.
Do you have
right?
a barbecue?
Yeah.
If it's winter and it's cold and your central heating is off, how are you going to keep warm? Those are it's very elementary. I think most people will survive for 72 hours with what they have in their house, but it's the process, as you said, thinking about it, feeling prepared, that creates the real resilience, and that's a great deterrence as well.
Yeah. And the same question to Linus then. What do you do at home with your family and your 3 kids and your partner?
So I have a gas barbecue, so that's my backup for cooking. And the rest of the neighborhood is welcome, by the way. You can also make it
the general
bonding.
We've got a general invitation.
We have stocks of food that we can use that don't always require water to cook in, because that can be scarce in times. We have loads of water that we can live off. We have a fireplace to keep warm. We have a radio that works on batteries. Battery packs for your phone, because your phone will be empty after 12 hours. And what do you do then? How do you keep in touch? So it's not rocket science. But you might need it at some point in time.
Yeah.
And cash.
Cash.
Yeah, that's my tip. I mean, in times when the banks are out of order, when you can't pay electronically, people still see cash as a mechanism by which to buy goods and transfer goods.
Yeah, even in Rotterdam.
Even in Rotterdam.
I've been carried cash for like 9 years.
But this is an issue. No. Most people don't carry cash.
Yeah, I wanted to add one thing to what you were saying. And this goes back to your point that you made earlier about why it's so important to connect these questions with the general public. Hearing you talk about preparedness in Lithuania, it's a totally foreign concept to me because I'm American and because we are surrounded by 2 massive oceans. And the idea of an imminent threat is not something that we live with. And we're very lucky in that sense. And so the conversation that you were having earlier about meeting in person or having Americans go to places like Poland or the Baltic States and seeing what that actually feels like. I was a couple years ago with the German Marshall Fund, another think tank in Washington, and we went to Latvia and Lithuania for the NATO summit. And you have conversations with people and you really feel, you really get a sense of what that is like living very close to a potential threat and how imminent that could be.
And how do you feel? How do you get that sense? Just the language used, the urgency?
The urgency, just the square mileage. These are small countries. The United States is massive. I mean, there's obviously people in the United States that are like preppers and have hundreds of cans of, corn or, canned foods ready for anything. But this is a concept of like being ready for anything that I don't think most people understand or live with. And so hearing people talk about that and seeing it firsthand, I think is a good thing for everyone. And this is, I think, a job for NATO as well, to talk about this and share these kinds of things with the general public, because that's where support ultimately comes from, especially when it comes to defense spending.
I love the word prepper, by the way. I think we should put that in our pocket and run with it.
I
We also learned
West.
that
We
Linus
love
has a map on paper. I don't know if that came across, but I thought that was a really good addition. No, and I think this is exactly why gatherings like the NATO Public Forum and all the meetings that are taking place today and tomorrow are so incredibly important. And not only talking amongst each other, but talking about what we're talking about towards audiences that are just in that outer ring, but that are interested. And I think part of building resilience and building resilient societies is building knowledge and awareness amongst the public at large, and making sure that that conversation about security and about NATO is being had not only here, but also in schools, at work, on the street. And that's very much what we're trying to do.
There will be people watching this thinking, this is scaremongering. This is playing into the hands of, say, the political hawks out there, the defence industry. We should be putting money into different initiatives that promote peace and